Welcome back to the channel for the special celebration edition. Want to get 60 FPS on Forza Horizon 4? Then follow this guide. Now, I had two previous videos out. Originally I had a 60 FPS video, and then I had a subsequent video where there'd been some changes on the SteamOS and Forza Horizon 4 was pretty broken. So you were getting closer to 40 FPS then. But we're back to a position now where you can get 60 FPS out of Forza Horizon 4 and it runs really, really well. So watch on and I'll share my settings. Let's just look at the screen just now. As you can see here, I've got a zoomed in FPS counter at the top left, matching the one that's on the screen. But as you can see, it does dip from 60 down to about 57, but it's doing pretty well. But before I continue, I just want to say, so big thanks to all my 1,100 plus members. Thank you so much for joining the channel, and an extra special big thanks to my two members who have really helped make this possible. That's Nigel Rayner and AssCrackBurger69, who's also been a loyal member for a few months. Thanks everyone, I couldn't have done it by myself. So how did I get 60 FPS? Well, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I've used the same settings that I used previously on Forza Horizon 4 when I did my previous 40 FPS video. So those settings are, in Forza Horizon 4 I have used 720p and I've targeted a frame rate of 60 FPS. I haven't used dynamic optimization. Instead, I've used advanced settings and I have used a custom preset. Now A is set to medium, night shadows is off, shadow quality is high, motion blur quality is low, environment or texture quality is medium, static geometry quality is medium, dynamic geometry quality is medium, MSA is 2 times, FXA off, SSAO is off, reflection quality is low, windshield reflection quality is medium, mirror quality low, world car level of detail is high, deformable terrain quality high, SSR quality low, lens effect off, shader quality medium, particle effect quality is medium. And with those settings, we have also used, on the Steamdeck, we've used the following settings in the performance settings. We have set a frame rate limit of 60, a refresh of 60. We have left the wattage at 15 watts and we're using FSR with stretch. So 720p, that should stretch up to the 800p of the screen. We also, in the settings of the properties of the game and compatibility, we have used Proton Experimental. Now previously I used version 8.04, but we're using Experimental just now. And we have it installed on the SD card, so you might even get slightly more performance if you install it locally on the device. So in the settings, or the system settings of SteamOS, we're using the main OS channel and the Steamdeck stable update channel, and we're on a 3.6 version of the OS. And as you can see here, well, now at the front, but as I was fighting through the pack, it was averaging about 60 FPS. Yes, there was occasional dips down to about 56, 57, but on average, it's staying pretty close to that 60 FPS. And as you can see, the frame time graph now, they had a real big spike there, dropped down to 41, 43, you see that? Now, I am intentionally trying to see if I can dip that FPS by constantly looking behind me, looking around. So you're making it a bit harder on the system, but generally speaking, when you're racing and you're facing front, you're getting 60 FPS. This is actually really playable at this. Now, when you glance behind you and then you glance back, you know, that little stutter FPS is less noticeable because you're concentrating on what's happening in the action. So from a gameplay point of view, I think this has actually turned out really well. Now, we'll just finish off this race. I'll intentionally make a few mistakes. That's my excuse for my poor driving. And as you can see, the game is actually playing really well. It looks fantastic, especially when you get into the winter season. You know, now that we're rolling into winter as it is, it's great to see the winter season in Forza Horizon 4. It just feels like home to me, to be honest. And yeah, so it's, like I say, even with this terrible driving, I am still averaging 60 FPS. Now you could turn the settings down a little bit lower and get that absolute lock to 60 FPS, but my whole aim was to get the best FPS possible while still keeping a nice look to Forza Horizon 4. It's a beautiful looking game. You want to keep those graphics as good as you can. So I think this is running really well. What I've found is I've given this some pretty heavy testing. As you can see, my battery life is currently at about 2 hours, 2 hours 20-ish. And this is with an almost full battery at this point. So a couple hour gameplay playing Forza Horizon 4 at 60 FPS. at reasonably medium settings, I think is pretty good. So yeah, let's switch over to some footage of me just driving around on the open world map. Okay, so here we are just buzzing along, and as you can see, just general driving around is also still round about 60 FPS. The average is 60 FPS. There's occasional spike where it's dropping down to about 55, 51 there. To be honest, this is about as good as I could get it, but I feel that it still feels very playable. You could, of course, lock it to 40 if you want, and then lock refresh the screen to 40 as well. It'd feel pretty good at that. You get even longer battery life, and we're already looking at a good bit over 2 hours battery life, which I think is perfect session really for Forza Horizon 4. Couldn't really put in much more time than that myself. And it just looks fantastic. So follow my settings, and hopefully you too will be able to get these good quality performance. More importantly, it doesn't constantly crash, which I know has been an issue that other people have reported. And I'm running this from SD card, so if it was going to crash, it would hopefully be crashing on me right now. You know, I'm really putting a lot of strain on this game, flying around, changing direction, a lot of stuff on the go, and it appears to be managing really well. So I played for a solid 2-hour session yesterday from a full battery. The battery wasn't even flat when I stopped, and never crashed one time. So hopefully this works just as well for you. Please leave a comment in the comment section below, and thanks so much for helping me get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next video. And I'll just leave you with some footage of me driving around badly if you want to carry on watching. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.